What if I told you that by 2025, the world as you know it will be unrecognizable? What if the balance of power is completely overturned? Imagine a world where the US and the EU are no longer a united West. Canada breaks away from the US and seeks new alliances. The Balkan states rise as the new geopolitical axis of Eurasia. India surpasses China as the leading power of the emerging markets. Think it's impossible? Think again. This is the global power shift, and it's happening right now. For decades, the West stood united under US leadership. But in 2025, we will witness the greatest fracture yet. The US will take a new direction. America will begin to see the EU as an economic competitor rather than a strategic ally. In its effort to detach from dependence on China, Washington will start forging economic ties with Russia to secure energy supplies and access to resources. The EU will seek independence. Led by France and Germany, European nations will forge a new vision for their future, prioritizing military self-sufficiency and deeper economic ties with Asia. Canada will distance itself from the US. For decades, Canada relied on the American market and economic support, but the new administration in Washington will refuse to continue spending unnecessary resources on its northern neighbor. Ottawa will be forced to develop new economic and diplomatic relations, mainly with the EU and Asian economies. This will mark Canada's first step toward becoming an independent player on the global stage. As old powers crumble, one region will unexpectedly rise, the Balkans. But why? The Balkans hold a unique strategic position, a bridge between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. At a time when trade routes become more critical than ever, this territory will turn into one of the world's most valuable geopolitical assets. Economic advantages. As trade ties with Turkey and Asia expand, the Balkans will become a key hub for logistics and transport. Major infrastructure projects like the Eurasian Corridor will reroute global trade through this region. Political influence. Bulgaria, Serbia, Albania, Kosovo, Croatia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Romania will establish a new geopolitical alliance with Turkey, rivaling both the EU and Russia. This will not be just an alliance of necessity, but an economic and military bloc that will shift the balance of power. Cultural significance. The Balkans have always been a crossroads of cultures and ideologies. In a newly multipolar system, the region will become a decisive factor in Eurasian stability. For decades, the Middle East was seen as a region of conflict, but in 2025, it will emerge as an economic superpower. With vast energy resources, cutting-edge infrastructure, and bold geopolitical ambitions, the nations of the Middle East are preparing for a historic rise. Oil wealth and energy dominance. While the world transitions to green energy, oil remains the backbone of the global economy. Countries like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar are using their immense oil revenues to diversify their economies, investing in technology, finance, and infrastructure. Strategic location and trade power. Positioned between Europe, Asia, and Africa, the Middle East controls some of the most critical trade routes in the world, including the Suez Canal and the Strait of Hormuz. This makes the region an indispensable player in global commerce. The new tech and finance hub. Cities like Dubai and Riyadh are becoming innovation hubs, attracting global investors and entrepreneurs. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is transforming the region, shifting its reliance from oil to cutting-edge industries, artificial intelligence, and space exploration. Political and military influence. With growing military capabilities and stronger alliances, the Middle East is no longer just a battleground for great powers, it is becoming one itself. The region is increasingly dictating terms in global energy markets, trade negotiations, and regional security. This isn't just an economic transformation, it's a geopolitical revolution. The Middle East is no longer just watching global events unfold. It is shaping them. The alliances of the future will be built on economic benefits rather than ideology. In the new multipolar system, each bloc will have its strengths. The EU will remain the center of finance and technology. The US and Russia will form a new energy alliance. The Balkans and Turkey will dominate Eurasian trade routes. India and the Middle East will establish a new economic empire. This will be a world of fierce competition, but also of immense opportunities. The world is changing, but not everyone will recognize the signs. Those who stay blind to the shift will wake up in a reality they don't understand. You have a choice, to stay informed or to be caught off guard. These are not theories. These are facts. analyzed by economists, sociologists, and geopolitical experts. Every word in this video is the result of real expert research, not just artificial intelligence. The Daily Bugle, analyzing society, is driven by real people who dedicate themselves to uncovering the truth. If you want to stay ahead, if you want to understand what's coming, hit subscribe now. Be part of the few who will see the future before it becomes the present. Knowledge is power. Take it into your hands.